Available in paperback at e-readers, Isis, Dark Incubus. The goddess next door gets enthralled in a romantic entanglement with an evil incubus in this all-new Isis series adventure. Get your copy of Isis, Dark Incubus in paperback and e-readers today. An Asian USC doctoral student has been charged with allegedly drugging, assaulting, and graping multiple women.
Breaking news, the LAPD is announcing the arrest of a suspect who's accused of sexually assaulting multiple victims. Investigators believe that suspect may be responsible for even more crimes.
And they are asking the public to help identify more victims. KTLA's Kimberly Chang is live in downtown LA with more on this breaking story. Hi, Kimberly.
Hi, LAPD officials just wrapped up a news conference here at the downtown headquarters. They did announce that they have arrested a USC international student. Take a look. They released his photo earlier this morning and identified him as 30-year-old Shijie Wang, a graduate student at USC. They say he was arrested August 28th. Now, police say that there were multiple sexual assault victims between 2021 and 2025. Wang is accused of using drugs to cause victims to be unaware of their surroundings, and that's when police say he sexually assaulted them. Now, he is facing 8 felony counts, including rape. They wouldn't give details about the victims or say whether or not they were students, but LAPD did confirm that they started this investigation after receiving a tip in January from German authorities. They wouldn't elaborate what the connection is, but did say that the suspect, who is a Chinese national, has traveled to Germany before. Now, after his arrest in LA, Robbery Homicide Division served search warrants in the University Park area, and it's believed that he stayed there but may have had another place where he was living. Here's more from that news conference this morning. Take a listen.
Links to activity that the German police became aware of. They shared it with our authorities here, and our individuals here, both in the FBI and in our Robbery Homicide Division, picked up the case at that point. We're not looking at this individual for drug trafficking. We're looking at him facilitating these sexual assaults by means of utilizing intoxicating substances and drugs.
Now, they wouldn't give any information on what types of drugs were used. They also would not say how many victims there are. They did say that's in the single digits. Now, Wang is in custody. He's being held without bail. Again, LAPD believes that there are additional victims and they're asking for the public's help. Reporting live in downtown, Kimberly Chang, KTLA 5 News.
Now, according to reports, 30-year-old Ji Wang, also known as Stephen Wang, is accused of allegedly placing incapacitating drugs inside of the food and drinks of 3 women and then allegedly assaulting and graping them. Now, the Los Angeles County District Attorney is charging Ji Wang, or Stephen Wang, with 1 felony count of forcible grape, 2 felony counts of sodomy by controlled substance or anesthesia, 1 felony count of rape by controlled substance, and 4 felony counts of sexual penetration by controlled substance or anesthesia. Now, the Los Angeles County District Attorney is bringing these charges after German officials alerted them to the behavior of Shi Wang in Germany as related to possibly participating in similar crimes in Germany. And after this was done, the Los Angeles District Attorney did an investigation and eventually found evidence as related to him committing these same crimes here in America. Now, the Los Angeles County Police and German officials see this as a sexual predator participating in an isolated incident. But when I take a critical examination of the behavior of Ji Wang, or Stephen Wang, it definitely fits the pattern and profile for beta males that I talk about in my book, The Man Crisis. And in the 2 chapters of The Man Crisis, where I deal with the sexual frustration of the beta male and the sexual deviancy of the beta male, I go in depth on what type of depraved behavior these individuals participate in and what motivates them to participate in that behavior. And when it looks like for this Ji Wang or Stephen Wang is that he was one of these beta males who had a hard time dealing with having healthy social interactions with women, and because he didn't feel comfortable about participating in a natural interaction with women, he wanted to enter a place I call the secret world. And when he entered the secret world, he wanted to not have a relationship with a woman, but have power over her. Now, when it comes to these beta males do not see women as people. No, many of these beta males basically see women as objects, as related to their rose-colored reality. And as they see these women as objects in their rose-colored reality, they don't see them as people that have feelings, thoughts, emotions, or have a willingness to consent to anything at all. No, they want to make everything fit into their secret world, because they basically have a lot of sexual shame, and the way they go out here and look to gratify themselves sexually is by doing things in a secret way where they can maintain their power. Now, with this Ji Wang, or Stephen Wang, what he wanted to do, I believe, with these women was he didn't feel comfortable about these women being able to consent to having a relationship with him. And I believe that he had some deep insecurities because he was a USC student, and because he felt he didn't deserve those type of women. He felt that he basically had to take these women because he felt that they would not give themselves to him. And because he felt this is possibly what led to him, possibly, as I'm speculating, looking to place these incapacitating drugs inside the food and drink of these women, and then looking to force himself on these women. Again, this was all about him and his insecurities and his feelings of inadequacy, and him looking to, again, gain power as related to this whole situation. Because when it comes to these type of deviants, for them, sex is not about sharing themselves with a woman. No, sex for these type of men is about power, and it's all about them gaining power over a woman who they see as an object and gaining control over her body. That's what these men look to do when they go out here and do things like place these drugs inside the food and drink of these women, because these men don't want a relationship with a woman. No, they don't trust a woman to have a relationship with them due to their deep insecurities. And because of their deep insecurities, they don't trust a woman to want to consent to have a sexual relationship with them. And since they don't trust that woman, they believe that they have a justification to abuse the body of that woman, as part of their way of getting power. And they get their pleasure by seeing that woman being completely humiliated by them being able to say they got one over on that woman. And that's what makes these type of sexual predators some of the most sick and twisted individuals in the world. And this guy, what's really scary is that he basically traveled from one part of the globe to another and basically traveled completely undetected. And I believe part of that is because he fits the stereotype white supremacy wants to see of Asian males. Again, he was a PhD grad student, and because he was this PhD grad student, people thought, oh, he's a smart guy. He's not somebody we would see as a threat. And that's what makes these type of beta male predators very dangerous, is that they look completely unassuming. They can look completely unassuming and non-threatening to the average man and woman. However, these are some of the most dangerous predators you will ever run into as related to society, because these guys basically look to gain a woman's trust or a man's trust if they are alphabet, and they basically look to, after they gain your trust, they basically look to violate your trust, and then after they violate a person's trust and humiliate them, they act like nothing has happened and go on to the next victim. And that's what makes these guys some of the, again, most dangerous predators here in the world of the social marketplace, because they look to prey on people. They look to prey on people by putting up a veneer of success. And that's what this guy was basically doing, putting up a veneer of success, saying, hey, I'm this up-and-coming doctorate student. I'm this guy who has everything going for him. Hey, go out with me. And then as the woman goes out with him, this is where this predator looks to prey on those women. And then after he gets them in a place, looks to take their ability to consent, take away their agency, and take away their power over their own bodies. And that's what makes this guy a monster all around, because this person, again, if these reports are true, again, preyed on these women. And again, this is something that these men do because of deep-seated inadequacies they have about their own sexuality and their deep-seated feelings of shame inside of themselves. So since they feel like they cannot go out here and have, again, normal sexual relations, this is what leads to these men participating in this deviant behavior. They participate in this deviant behavior because they basically grew up in a world of sexual shame, a world of shame about themselves in expressing themselves sexually. And since they feel they can't do that in the real world, because they feel that that's not what good men do, what they do is go to the secret world. And in the secret world, this is where they participate in these deviant acts. They participate in these deviant acts in the secret world, and they make it their secret. Again, it's their little secret that they violated these women and took away their bodies and took away their power. And again, this is what makes these men depraved monsters. They want to do this in secret, whereas a normal man, again, he will go out here, have dinner with that woman, and if things go a certain way, yeah, he'll go out here and get with that woman, and it'll be out in the open. He's not looking to, again, do things in secret. Everything's out in the open, and that's how he operates. But these guys, again, they have this shame, and a lot of these guys have shame because they come from parents who basically teach them to be ashamed of themselves sexually and teach them that sex is not something natural. No, they teach them to be ashamed of their bodies, to be ashamed of themselves. And because of this, these men basically want to go do these acts in secret, and again, do these acts in secret, and again, look to participate in this violence. Again, this is where these men turn sex from something that's healthy and normal to something twisted and depraved, because they turn it into this sexual violence. And again, that's what these men do because they have a miseducation as related to their sexuality. They have a miseducation as related to sex in general. And that miseducation has these men turned into, again, men who look to use not their penis for pleasure, but use their penis as a weapon, use their penis as a weapon to hurt women. Because when you drug a woman and take her body, this man, well, again, is looking to use his penis as a weapon to take power from those women, take away their agency, take away their consent, and again, get that secret of basically saying he got one over on that woman. And that's what makes this type of predator, again, one of the sickest ones out there. And this is what makes these type of predators, again, very dangerous, because again, they gain your trust, and they basically target women, looking for those that they can go out here and prey on. And the whole thing is that many women will look at the veneer of this guy, think, oh, he's a good guy, not understanding you're sitting right in the presence of a monster. Now, some women will pick up on the vibe of this dude and see something ain't right. But the whole thing is that these guys operate like this, and a lot of times people don't know that they're dealing with this type of guy. Again, a guy who has a lot of serious issues that possibly go back to his childhood and possibly go back to the relationship he had with his mother. I mean, that's how deep the things go with these type of males. And what makes it scary, again, is that nobody knows that this guy is out here like this and is a predator looking to prey on women. That's what makes this guy, again, one of the most, if these allegations are true, one of the most dangerous ones out there. And again, this is one of the things that makes the man crisis, again, a scary thing, is that this guy is just the tip of the iceberg because of the way we've been raising boys to become men. A lot of boys have been raised with this same type of sexual shame, and because they are not taught to have a natural, healthy expression of themselves, to express themselves sexually, what they do is enter the secret world, believe that the deviancy that they learned in the secret world is natural, and go out here and look to prey on people. And what's really scary is that this guy, again, as I've said, is the tip of the iceberg. There are hundreds of millions of guys out here like this, and the scary part is most women don't know if they'll run into this type of guy. That's the scariest part about this type of situation, and these are the most dangerous men in the man crisis. And the whole part of the man crisis as related to sex and sexuality is one of the more troubling ones, because this is the era, the part that nobody really wants to talk about as related to the man crisis. I mean, nobody really wants to talk about how many of these men, again, have been forced into sexual predators, all due to the dysfunctional way we deal with sex and sexuality in the world as related to sexual shame, and people not really understanding how to talk about sex. That's what leads to these guys becoming predators, because they get, again, miseducated, they get misinformation, and again, they, instead of them learning how to, again, have a healthy relationship with a woman, they're out here preying on women. And again, this guy, basically, I thank God that he was caught. And if these allegations are true and this guy is convicted, yeah, what's going to happen to him is he's going to go from being a graduate student at USC, one of the top schools in the country, to winding up an inmate inside of the LA prison system, where he'll be running into Jose, Bubba, Tiny, Roscoe, Big Dave, Melvin, and Senior Sprinkles, and they will be going out here, and he will be getting what he reaped, what he sowed, as he's traded for Little Debbie snack cakes, ramen noodles, packets of Crystal Light lemonade, packets of Crystal Light tea, Taster's Choice coffee, off-brand orange drink, off-brand lemon lime drink, off-brand grape drink, off-brand fruit punch, off-brand apple juice, off-brand mango juice, off-brand Oreo cookies, off-brand duplex cookies, off-brand vanilla wafers, off-brand ginger snaps, Hunt's snack pack puddings, Velveeta cheese, Fritos chips, packets of soy sauce, packets of sriracha sauce, beef jerky, Slim Jims, beef summer sausage, packets of chicken, packets of tuna, packets of rice, and all the items of the commissary. And as they make cream of some young guy in the front side and the back side of dude, he will realize that he basically threw away his academic career and his freedom. He'll realize all he has lost, all because he basically had issues as related to his sexuality. He will realize how much he has lost due to that issues that he had as related to sexual shame, and that's what will happen to this guy when he's inside of the penitentiary, again, getting turned out and getting his front side and back side turned out, reaping what he sowed, greater than what he sowed, later than what he sowed inside of that penitentiary. That's what's going to happen to this guy if these allegations are proven true and he's convicted. He will realize and regret what he has done in throwing away his life, because now he's going to go from being, again, a man who was on the road to getting a doctorate to a man on the road to life in prison if these charges are proven true. And even if some of these charges are proven true and he gets out of jail by some miracle, again, nobody's going to want to employ this guy, because when you have sex crimes on your record, basically you're basically done. So when it comes down to these type of guys, again, they are the most dangerous men in the man crisis, and they're some of the sickest men in the man crisis, and they're the ones who need the most help out of all the men in the man crisis currently going on in this country. And what's scary is that many of these men don't get the help that they need, because many of these men, again, in addition to the sexual shame, have a shame of going to get therapy, getting therapy for their issues, therapy that they need so that they can learn what a healthy sexual relationship is and a healthy relationship with people are in general. Now, if you want to learn more about how men like this are motivated to participate in these type of crimes and how to be able to help someone who is with these type of issues, you can pick up my book, The Man Crisis, which goes into detail into all of the antisocial behaviors that beta males participate in, and possibly help someone in your life basically go from a man in crisis to learning how to become a healthy man. And you can find that book in paperback and Kindle format on Amazon.com. You can also find it at other online booksellers like Draft to Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, and big box retailers like Walmart and Target. And if you want to see me make more videos talking about the man crisis, you can drop a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the link in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.
Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited, The Man Crisis. Learn why so many men are struggling to find their way in an increasingly gynocentric world in The Man Crisis. Get your copy of The Man Crisis in paperback and Kindle Unlimited today.
Coming to paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, A Thorn in My Side. The man who rules the world takes on an agent from the CIA from the Black Boule in this action-packed all-new John Haynes series adventure. Pre-order your copy of John Haynes' A Thorn in My Side at Amazon.com and other online booksellers. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.